All right, man. A real staple of downtown St. Augustine for a long time. A1A Ale Works. Going to be closing over this weekend, apparently for good. A1A Ale Works announced that it will close its doors over Memorial Day weekend. They're located on King Street between Charlotte Street and Avenida Menendez. A restaurant confirmed via Facebook that they will shut down on Sunday, May 26th.
Yeah.
The Post expressed gratitude for customers' loyalty and invited them to come say goodbye in the coming days. The announcement was confirmed by restaurant staff. They also reached out to SPB Hospitality, the parent company. Oh, okay, of A1A Ale Works for more information.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now.
They also own, SPB also owns other brands, including Ragtime Tavern in Atlantic Beach.
There we go.
Seven Bridges in Jacksonville, and J. Alexander's.
Oh, best fries ever.
At the St. John's Town Center. It's currently unclear if these locations will be affected.
Nah, they'll be all right.
I think I went to J. Alexander's recently.
So good. Yeah, just sit at the bar. It's so nice.
Okay. All right.
They have those like shoestring fries, those really teeny tiny thin ones.
Yeah.
I love those.
Those are good. I'm not a steak fry guy.
You're not? No, I mean, they're too thick, right?
Yeah. I'm not a steak fry guy.
So what happens to that building?
Yeah.
What goes in there, man? What's a good fit in there?
No, I mean the owners have a business within the building already that could be expanded. I mean, I think there's it's a pretty big space because it's upstairs and downstairs. So
right,
I think there's a couple of different things that can fill that gap. So I mean, my biggest question is, what do they do with the tanks?
Right.
Do they still have the tanks there? Are they still making beer there? Is that really something they still do?
I'm not a beer guy, so I don't go to breweries.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, people are always like, "Hey, let's meet at such and such brewery," and I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I drink bourbon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I get like the smallest one and then sip on it and then toss it out. I mean, that's how I feel.
Whoa, you
beer.
are not having that. Yeah, you're like,
Oh.
forget it. I'm too gassy.
Life's too short to use up one of my drinks on a beer.
True. Yeah, you know what? That's a good motto.
I count each one of my drinks now.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not wasting a drink on
Right.
something I don't want.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see it's a great spot location wise. It's a great little location right there on the corner of the bayfront. It's a beautiful view out there on that balcony.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, if the roundabout talk scared them off or what it was, but I mean, it was about 5 years ago they had a similar situation where they almost left at that point.
I do vaguely remember that.
So I think the lease ran out and it just kind of was like, okay. And the restaurant business is a tough business.
Boy, is it ever.
It probably impacted them too when they shut down for that boat. Digging out that boat there.
It really did. I can tell you, it definitely did. I mean, the guys at South Philly, which I walk across. I mean, they were hurting during the week. I mean,
love South Philly.
They were just really, really in. I mean, they held on, but they were hurting.
They're still there, right?
Yeah, they're still there.
That is an OG in town.
Yeah, I need to go there more often.
Yeah, South Philly's so good.
Such good
yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So what happens to like staff in this situation? Have you ever been in this situation, like a restaurant closing?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I was at Quincy's the last day
What does that
they
look like?
closed. I mean,
They don't tell you.
yeah. I mean, the
fact
staff
that
at
these
least
guys
has.
told 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have more notice than I had at Quincy's.
Okay.
I mean, at Quincy's when they shut down, it was one day I came to work and everybody was just like, "Yeah, we're closed.
Yeah.
We're selling hot rolls out of the parking lot now."
I can tell you.
Then we're leaving.
With my trivia business, and trivia usually is one of the bigger nights that they have. I've had nights where I worked on Tuesday night and they were closed on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they never told anybody.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even they didn't say, "Hey, we're not going to be here next week." So I mean,
Right.
I'm having to call all my trivia people and say, "Hey, it's closed down." So,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild.
Interesting.
But I mean, it's kind of you got to get the money when you can.
You got to rally and find something new, like right away, right?
Yeah. So no, I mean it's like I said, it's a tough business.
It is a tough business.
It is, man. It's tougher than ever right now. I mean, it's tougher than ever because it's such a balance of, you got so many factors up in the air. Food costs are unpredictable. You never know what food's going to cost next week. You never know what your menu is going to look like next week. People have to take favorites off of their menu because they don't want to astronomically raise the price to a point where customers are going to question.
Angry.
Right? Yeah.
You anger your customer by some of those things.
Right. Yeah. And people don't always understand why prices of things go up in restaurants, and so balancing prices and then staff. I mean, it's just we're in a culture today where people just bounce around a lot, man. People just bounce around a lot. So
yeah.
And I got to give, before we do shout outs, I got to give a shout out to Barry. I guess he was named #1 restaurant in St. Augustine. So at Lotus.
Okay.
At Lotus,
okay. I'm like, wait, we know like 4 Barrys.
Barry
I'm like, Barry Browdy? Well, he doesn't have a restaurant that I know of. Barry Fox? I don't think so.
That's true.
Give them both time.
But that's awesome. Right. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's
Barry,
a big deal.
He's been working hard. So
that's awesome.
And to the entire staff. It's not just him. So.
Yeah. He's got a solid staff over there, it seems like.
Really does.
So this big company owns this. I guess their lease is up, so they're out of town now, right? This the one that owns J. Alexander's was it SB something?
SB. Is that a big corporation or is that a local company that owns that?
Looks like
A1A Ale
Northeast
Works
Florida.
now.
Well, I think they're Jacksonville based.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the way I understood it, it's Jacksonville based. But
J. Alexander's a franchise, just a luxury franchise. But there's some in Michigan and all over.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there, man, because it is just it's a really cool location.
Yeah.
Really
again, special.
Boy, it's hard to want to get into the restaurant business these days. I used to want to own a restaurant, and right now I would not do it.
Yeah.
It's not a investment I would take on.
With a space like that, God, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
I always said I would own a bar like about the size of this room. Just enough for like 8 people.
Yeah.
You can barely fit.
Well,
It's like
you
the old
remember-
Oddbirds, right?
Yeah. You remember, Troy, I think you remember this, but there was a concept for that a few years ago that I wish would have gone through, but it didn't. All right, cool. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be watching. We have no choice. It's just in such a prominent location.
Yeah. Support that team this weekend.
Yeah, there you go. Go in there and tip big for those people. They need to find somewhere to move on, man.
They're going to be a little displaced, that's for sure.